Where is it? Number 6. 2 bracket x plus yi, right, plus 3 bracket 4 minus 6i equals 7 minus 3i. Right, multiply into the brackets first, okay? So here I get 2x plus 2yi plus, multiply into this bracket, 3 4s are 12 minus, that's a 6, 3 6s are 18i equals 7 minus 3i. Okay, now we're ready to pick out our real and our imaginary. Okay, so real doesn't have an I in it, so 2x plus 12, and then I'm over to the other side, equals 7. Okay, so then that's just a case of x is on one side, numbers on the other. So 2x equals 7 minus 12 when it comes over. That's 2x equals minus 5. Right, divide each side by 2, and you get x is equal to minus 5 over 2. Or minus 2.5, or minus 2.5. You can write it any way you want. Okay? Imaginary then, if it's got an I in it, so it's 2yi minus 18i equals minus 3i. So the next thing you notice is everything has an I in it. And if everything doesn't have an I, you've made a mistake. Because if it doesn't have an I, it should be over with the real. Okay? So knock off the I, and you get 2y minus 18 equals minus 3. So you get 2y is equal to minus 3 plus 18 when it comes over. So that's 2y is equal to 15. There's a 2 stuck to the y, so divide each side by 2, and you'll get y is equal to 15 over 2. Right, which you can write as 7.5, 7.5, or you can just leave it as a top-heavy fraction, it's fine. Okay? Is that alright, number 6? Anyone need any other one? 9, yeah. Okay, so question 9 reads 2x plus x plus y I equals 4 minus 5i.
Excuse me please, just note that NASAC Lodge is not available from 12:25 to 1:05 due to transition year workshops. A message for all 6th years: today is the last day for the Who's Most Likely To. It will be closing tomorrow. Don't forget to send in your yearbook quote and baby photo if you have not already. Thank you.
Right.
And Grace Campbell, Victor 5, come to reception.
She's there. Right, okay. So multiply out. So you get 2x plus, now the i's at the end. Right, we're normally used to the I being at the front, so just move it. Okay, the I at the end and the I at the front is the exact same thing. So xi plus yi equals 4 minus 5i. So then pick out your real and your imaginary. So your real have no i's in it. So we have 2x, that's it, I equals 4 on this side. Then divide each side by 2, and you get x is equal to 2. Then for your imaginary, we have xi plus yi equals, now be careful girls, that's minus 5i. It's not 5i, it's minus 5i. There's an I in everything, so knock off all the i's. So you've finished with x plus y equals minus 5. Now we know what x is, because we just figured it out. Okay? If you didn't know what x is, you wouldn't be able to do anything with that, but we know what x is. It's 2. So everywhere I see an x, put in a 2. So 2 plus y equals minus 5. Then bring the 2 over and you get y is equal to minus 5 minus 2 when it comes over, so that means y is equal to minus 7. Is that okay? That was number 9. Anyone for any other number? Right, okay, I'm staying on the same section for a while. I might move on to the next section then in a while. Right, but I need to do another couple of examples here, because sometimes, girls, you're going to end up with simultaneous equations, right? So if I have example, I don't know what example I'm on, so what? Yeah, so this is continuing on from yesterday. So example, what did I finish on yesterday? Example 4, so this is example 5, right? Example 5, so same section, right? Okay, it's just harder ones. Okay, so if I have a times 2 plus I plus 8 minus bi equals 5b minus 3 minus I. Okay, so that's the question. Solve for a and b. Okay, what I do first? Multiply into the brackets. So multiplying in by a by 2 is 2a, a by I is ai. Right, then finish it off, plus 8 minus 6i equals 5b minus 3 minus I. Okay? Right, so now I'm ready to pick out my real bits and my imaginary bits. So real bits, imaginary bits. So real bits have no i's in them, so real bits is 2a plus 8 equals 5b minus 3. Now I'm not going to be able to solve this. Why am I not going to be able to solve this? Because there's an a term and there's a b term, isn't there? Okay, but what I am going to do is I'm going to move it around so I have the a term and the b term equal to the number. So I want the a term first, so 2a is here already, so I'm leaving it here. Then I want the b term, I need to bring it over, so what does that become? Minus 5b, right? And then I want the numbers over here, so minus 3 is here already, and 8 comes over and becomes a what? Minus 8. So I end up with 2a minus 5b equals minus 11. I can't do a thing with that, okay, for the moment, okay? Right, so you lead that over to your imaginary. So you pick your imaginary, which are all the ones with the I in it. So ai minus 6i equals minus I. Now, what I might do is, girls, instead of that I, I'm going to put a 1 in front of it, just so I won't forget it when I knock off the i's. Okay, so knock off the i's. Oh, this, why doesn't this end up with, why this written? Yeah, that's not a 6i, girls, that's a bi. Sorry. That's a bi. Right, it's not a big deal. Right, okay, so it's a bi. Okay, so I end up with a minus b equals minus 1. Okay, can I do anything with that? No, can't solve that, because you just need one letter in there to solve them. When there's 2, you can't solve it. But when I have 2 equations in 2 unknowns, as in I don't know a, I don't know b, what can I do? I can write them underneath each other and do simultaneous equations. So if I go 2a minus 5b equals minus 11, I have a minus b equals minus 1. So remember simultaneous equations. I look and see what's in front of the b's. So there's a 5 in front of the b. They're different. There's a 5 and a 1. Isn't that right? So when there's a 5, you multiply the second line by 5. And there's a 1 here, so you multiply the top line by 1. Okay? So you swap them over. Oh. Yeah, I do it in 2 steps. Yeah, you can do it in all in 1 step if you want. Right? So I get 2a, the top line stays the same. the bottom line becomes 5 by A is 5A, 5 by B is minus 5B, and 5 by minus 1 is minus 5. Don't forget to multiply absolutely everything. Now my B's have the same number, but they won't cancel because they're both minuses, so I need to change the signs of one of the lines. So I'll change this to a minus, I'll change this to a plus, and this to a plus. Now, because it was minus 5B, minus 5B. So minus 5B and minus 5B won't cancel out. I need minus 5B and plus 5B. Now, when you did this in junior cert, some people might have learned to multiply by a negative number, right? That's the same thing. I'm just multiplying and then changing the signs. If you were to multiply by a negative number, it's the same thing. So whichever way you learned, stick with it, okay? Yes?
I multiplied by minus 5 for both of them, like for minus 1 and minus 5, and I got plus 5b and plus 5b.
Yeah, you only want to do, so you shouldn't have multiplied by a minus 1 and a minus 5. You should have multiplied by, yeah, just change the signs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So here, I've changed the sign, so minus 5b and plus 5b will give me 0, so I'm ready to squash. So 2a take away 5a is minus 3a. Minus 11 plus 5 is minus 6. There's a minus 3 stuck to the a, so divide each side by minus 3. They cancel, and you'll get a is equal to a plus 2. Okay? So then you take either equation, it doesn't matter which one you take. I normally just take the top one. Everywhere I see an A, I'm going to put in a 2. So it's 2 times 2 minus 5b equals minus 11. 2 2s are 4, minus 5b equals minus 11. So minus 5b equals, I'm after going wrong here now, am I? Why? Hang on a minute. It's just, it should work out even and it doesn't. I made a mistake somewhere. I multiplied something wrong. A is 2 is right. I'm right to there. 2a minus 5b equals minus 11. Oh yeah, no, I'm okay, I'm fine, sorry, I'm panicking. Minus 11, when you bring over the 4, it becomes a minus 4, doesn't it? So minus 5b equals minus 15. So there's a minus 5 stuck to the b, divide each side by minus 5, and you get b is equal to plus 3. Now I'm done. Okay? So basically, same as before, real and imaginary, but you're not able to solve the equations, right? So you have to do simultaneous equations to solve the equations that you end up with. Is that right? Is that okay? Sorry?
How do you know, like, it's probably a question, how do you know when to use the thing?
Because, you know, when you end up with these equations here, there'll be 2 letters. Normally, you can solve them if it's just A, right? Or if it's just B. So if it's A in its own or if it's B in its own, you can solve them. But when you have A and B in both of them, then you know it's simultaneous equations. Or X and Y, 2 letters. Okay? Are we all right? I'll do a second example. Yes.
Do they have to be the same sign to be cancelled out?
No, they have to be different signs to be cancelled out. So one has to be a minus and one has to be a plus. If they're the same, you have to change the signs of one of the lines. Okay? Right, I'll do a second example. So I'm on to example 6. So here we have 3 bracket A plus BI minus 4 bracket AI minus B equals 6 minus 3I. Step 1, multiply. That that is a B now, not a 6, okay? Because my B's start looking like 6s after a while. That's a B, okay? That's a 6, okay? So this is a B, this is a B, this is a 6, okay? Because my B's and 6s start looking very similar, right? Multiply in, so you get 3A plus 3BI. Multiply in here, be careful, you're multiplying in by a minus 4. So that's minus 4AI. And a minus by a minus is a plus. 4 by B is 4B. Equals 6 minus 3I. Is that okay? Now you're ready to pick out the real bits and the imaginary bits. So real bits, imaginary bits. So real bits, they don't have an I, right? So real bits, 3A is real, 3BI is imaginary, 4AI is imaginary, plus 4B is real, and then I'm over to the other side. The real bit on the other side is 6. That's as far as I can go, right? I don't need to tidy that up or move anything. I have A term, B term equals number. That's it. That's as far as I can go. Imaginary is 3BI minus 4AI equals minus 3I. So next step is to cancel the i's. So you'll get 3B minus 4A equals minus 3. Okay, now I want A for, you know, this one has A first, then B equals number. This one has B first, then A equals number. So I just need to move it so it's A first. So what's the A term? Minus 4A. What's the B term? Plus 3B. So I haven't moved it. It's still on the left hand side, so it's still got the same signs. Equals minus 3. Okay, so I just had to move stuff around. So I have A term, B term equals number. Is that okay? So now I'm ready for my simultaneous equations. So I'll write one under the other. So it's 3A, it doesn't matter which one you write first. 3A plus 4B equals 6. And then I have minus 4A plus 3B equals minus 3. Okay, there's a 4 in front here, there's a 3 in front here. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the second line by 4 and the top line by 3.
We don't change signs.
Yeah, we'll change in a minute. Right, we'll change in a minute. You're going to end up having to change signs, but I'm going to worry about the same number first. Okay, some people do it all in one go and they'll multiply by a minus number. I like to do the numbers first and then do the signs.
And we're not multiplying bottom line.
Multiplying the bottom line by 4 because there's a 4 in front here. I'm multiplying the top line by 3 because there's a 3 in front here. So you do the opposite number. Okay, so top line by 3 is 9A plus 12B equals 18. Bottom line by 4, you get minus 16A plus 12B equals minus 12. So then you look, I've got a 12 and a 12, that's great, but there's now a plus and a plus, so what'll I do? Change the signs. So this becomes a plus, this becomes a minus, and this becomes a plus. Now plus 12B minus 12B gives me 0, cancel each other out. 9A plus 16A will give me 25A. Yeah. 25A here, 18 plus 12 gives me 30. So there's, this is a pain now because it's fractions. Why do they give me fractions? So A, you have to divide each, there's a 25 stuck to the A. So 25, divide each side by 25. So you get A equals, if you put that into the calculator, you get 6 over 5. Okay, you can change that to 1.2 if you want. Right? Okay?
And 25 cancel.
25 and the 25 cancel, yeah. Okay, that's why you're dividing by 25, so you're just left with the letter by itself. Okay, so then I have 3A plus 4B equals 6. I've just figured out what A is. It's 6 over 5. So 3 times 6 over 5 plus 4B equals 6. So in the calculator, that's 18 over 5 plus 4B equals 6. So bring over the 18 over 5. I know it's a pain because it's a fraction, but you have a calculator, so there's no panic. 6 minus 18 over 5. So that means 4B on the calculator, 6 take away 18 over 5 is 12 over 5. Okay, and then you divide each side by 4. Again, it looks weird, but you can divide that in the calculator. 12 over 5 divided by 4, right? And that will give you 3 over 5. So A is 6 over 5, B is 3 over 5. Okay, I know it's a pain because it's fractions, but just use the same method in your calculator and you'll be fine.
I put it into the calculator and I got 48 over 5.
You got 48 over 5?
Yeah.
For which bit?
12 over 5 over 4.
12 over 5 divided by 4. I think I'm right. Are you sure you put it in right? Did you do the fraction button first?
Yeah.
And then do the fraction button on top?
Yeah.
Did you do 12 over 5 on top
Yeah.
and 4 on the bottom?
Oh, wait, I got it.
Yeah. I think what you may have done is put the fraction on the bottom. Another way to type that in, which would be less confusing, would be 12 over 5 divided by 4. That might be less confusing if you put it in like that, okay? Right, are we okay? Any questions for me? Right, I was going to do another bit, but you know, I'm thinking now I won't. So, page 104, girls. If we do 10, 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so we can start now, and if you run into bother, come and ask me.